Okay, I've got permission to get you guys the tomato plants that I've been growing for the last several weeks. It's been quite an ordeal to keep them alive out here with all the weather conditions and everything that we've had. But at any rate, this is a project I've done the last several years. The intent behind the project is to get you to think a little bit about what it takes to grow food. I mean, it's pretty easy to walk into Walmart or wherever and stock up on groceries, although nowadays not so much, which is one of the reasons why I'm emphasizing this project at this time. The relying solely on the food system can be dangerous, and so that's one of the reasons why I like to grow as much of my own food and raise some of my own animals and do as much of that kind of thing myself as possible. And I always encourage my students and anybody I meet and want to talk about with this, encourage them to do the same. And so here's an opportunity for you guys to learn a little bit about how to grow a plant if you don't already know. Some of you already do this with your families, and that's great. Others this may be your first pass at it, but the intent here is for you to research a little bit and figure out what it's going to take to keep a plant alive, number one, and number two, keep it alive long enough to reproduce. And of course that in the case of tomatoes means making tomatoes. So that's the intent, but there's a little bit more behind that, and so I'll give you some details here in just a second. So here are the tomato plants. And so really the only requirement is if you're going to come up to the school and get one, first of all, you have to come by yourself. You cannot come with friends. You cannot pick one up for friends, anything along those lines. And of course, you must also have a place where you can grow it out. Now, it doesn't take much. Students in the past have done this, in a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, but you probably do need a few resources. A place to, a place where you can get some full, preferably full sun. But these plants are ready to go. If you look at the root system, they're just busting out. These guys will be ready to go. Now, what you're going to want to do when you plant them, all right, and I kind of showed this in one of my other videos, is when you plant, see all these little projections right here? These want to become roots. Okay, so when you plant when you take your plant home, and I'll post a key to what all the different abbreviations stand for, so that you can know what plants you're getting. But at any rate, when you plant this, you're going to transfer it from this cup to some soil, and you want to plant this thing about that deep in the soil. Okay, getting all this stem below the soil level. Okay. Now I do have, like I said, a couple of peppers, but they're not in really great shape. The way we'll work this is we'll have the AP kids come up first. In the past, I made this mandatory for them, and then the pre-AP kids can come a little bit later and take what's left. Okay, I have about 60, I think, plants or so. A few of these I'm keeping still, but I'll have a few more details on Classroom about when and where to get it, and I'm happy to answer any questions about what you need to do or how you need to do it. Okay, hope you guys have fun with this. It's an important one. Take care.